Praise the Lord, saints. My fruit of the Spirit today is joy, and I have a couple of points I want to touch on. And first, I want to discuss the definition of joy. And I looked up two definitions, and Webster's have their own dictionary, and then there's God's definition of joy. So in Webster's definition, I looked it up, and it says the emotions evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune by the prospect of possessing what one desires. And some might not know the difference between joy and happiness. And to me, I feel like joy is more than a moment. Happiness to me would be like circumstances. Like you're happy because something happened, or maybe you got like a good grade on your report card, or you're happy because someone gave you something. So I think that joy is based, or happiness is based on circumstance or possession. So joy to me is saying, in the midst of your trials, in the midst of your tribulations, saying, thank you, Lord, in the midst of all that. Because in the Bible it says, count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. That's in James 1 and 2. So I said, joy to me is nothing but a moment. It is everlasting to me. Joy is the assurance that God is in control of all the details of your life. It is the quiet confidence that everything is going to be okay. My second point is joy is not an option. Joy is not only something that you can have. I believe that joy is something that God commands us to have. And we have proof of that in Psalms 97:12, when he says, rejoice in the Lord, you who are righteous, and praise his holy name. Again, he says in Psalm 102, worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. We see it in other places too as well in the Bible. So God requires joy from us, because how can we praise him? How can we worship him without joy? My second point, or my third point, is where does joy come from? The source. Our source is God. I was reading Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and verse 3, it says, sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the face, the heart is made glad. And so one might ask, well, what does sadness have to do with joy? So in sorrow, we are able to rely more on God's strength. We are able to look to him for joy. So I was having a quiet time, maybe like a few weeks back, and the Holy Spirit just directed me to John chapter 4, verse 7, when Jesus met the woman at the well. And so I read a few versions of the question that he asked the woman. In the NIV, he says, will you give me a drink? NIV version, it sounds like a request. I read ESV and KJV, and it says, give me a drink as a command. NLT says, please give me a drink as a plea. And my last point, I mentioned that joy is not an option. When Jesus asked, will you give me a drink, he was asking, will you give me a chance? You tried everything else but me. So don't look for your joy and your satisfaction in other things. Don't look for your joy and your satisfaction in man or woman, that job, whatever it is. Amen. So at that point, it becomes no longer a question, it becomes a command. Because just like the woman at the well had an encounter, I hope that everyone in this room had an encounter with Jesus as well. Amen. And my last point is the secret to joy, which is gratefulness. Because how can you have joy without being thankful for everything that's going on in your life? Whether it's, if you're going through something, if somebody died in your family, you say, thank you, Lord, because they're going on to heaven with him. I've been through a lot of things in my life. I mean, over this past year, I've suffered from a heartbreak. But in that heartbreak, I was still able to say, thank you, Lord. Because that heartbreak, that taught me something, that made me grow. I lost my mother this year. That was able to, give me some kind of strength and some courage to know that she's not suffering anymore. So I'm thankful for that. The enemy tried to come between my family, and I was still able to say, thank you, Lord, for placing me in this family. Even though they're crazy, but I'm so grateful for it. I had a mental breakdown earlier this year, and I was still able to say thank you, Lord, because he kept my mind and he gave me peace. And lastly, I was even rejected by man. But God reminded me that he will never forsake me, he will never leave me, and he will always love me. And this to me is joy.